10 Sports Central will be over a college football game preview and prediction on the Week 0 matchup between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Illinois Fighting Illini. And this is going to be the big matchup coming up here in Week 0. And we've got 6 or 7 matchups actually coming up here in Week 0, which is definitely good news. We got some good college football this weekend, but this is going to be the main college football matchup here in Week 0. We got a Big Ten matchup between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and Illinois, the Fighting Illini. And this is actually going to be a crucial game for both these teams for different reasons. For Nebraska, this is a team that has had Scott Frost for a few seasons now. This is his 4th season coming up as head coach of the Cornhuskers, and he has had not much success with Nebraska over the course of his career coaching the Cornhuskers so far. So this is going to be a crucial season and a crucial game for him as well, because for Nebraska, if you lose to Illinois in your first game, that is not a good way to start off the season. As for Illinois, this is a team who got rid of Lovie Smith and now has Brett Bielema as the head coach, so it's a different situation for Illinois as well. So that being said, we're going to be going over a full college football game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. We're going to go ahead and get started. This game is going to be on Saturday, August 28th in Champaign. So this game is in Illinois, and obviously this game was actually supposed to be in Ireland, so it could have been a great matchup, out of country, which for Nebraska, that has been moved, I believe, to next year. They'll be playing Northwestern, if I'm right on that, next year on the road in Ireland. But yeah, so Nebraska, Illinois, this will be in Champaign. It's going to be at noon Central Time. The line currently says Nebraska by 7, over-unders 55, and the ESPN FPI has got Nebraska 65% in this matchup. So line does expect it to be pretty close there with only a 7-point spread there. In series history as well, Nebraska leads at 13-4. Win streak is Illinois by 1. Illinois actually beat up Nebraska by a decent margin last season. So that was kind of an embarrassing loss there for Nebraska, obviously. But Illinois, this is a team that handled the Cornhuskers quite well last season. In the last 5 games, Nebraska leads 4-1 as well. So once again for Illinois, Illinois has only beaten Nebraska twice ever since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. And as for your stat comparison heading into this matchup, these will be your 2020 final stats. Nebraska's got 29 points per game last year, 20 points allowed. Really, statistically, both teams really just were not very good for the respective programs last season. We did see Nebraska have 224 points or yards allowed per game last season, as well as 196 rush yards. So obviously, the defensive side was a big issue for both of these teams. Illinois, of course, had 243 pass yards allowed, so the secondary especially was an issue for Illinois. And otherwise, yeah, both these teams were mainly rushing teams last season. Nebraska did have Adrian Martinez, who passed a little bit. Luke McCaffrey did as well, but this team, for the most part, believe it or not, actually was a rushing team. So that being said, let's look at some key points heading into this matchup here. Obviously, with Nebraska at 3-5 last season, this is a crucial season for Scott Frost. He's got to prove himself that he's the right coach for Nebraska, because if Nebraska does not get 6 wins this season, without a doubt, he's going to be on the hot seat. After 4 seasons and not making it to a bowl game in your Nebraska football program, that is not a very good thing at all, and that's definitely something that's going to raise some concerns in Big Red Country. But this team does have enough talent to be a contender for sure. Adrian Martinez is a mediocre quarterback at best right now, but if he can play the way that he did his freshman year, this Nebraska team could be a very good team next season. It's just Adrian Martinez. He's got some issues, and he just does not have the confidence to be a outstanding quarterback. And I think if he can gain some of that confidence back going into next season, and once again, it heavily depends on the quarterback position for Nebraska next year. But this game is a must-win for Nebraska, if you ask me. This is a Nebraska team that needs this win more than Illinois does. If you look at Nebraska here, this is a team that, once again, 3-5 last season, but also, this team, if you lose to Illinois to start off this season, that gives a really bad taste going into the rest of the season. And so for Nebraska, I've currently got this Nebraska team at 6-6, maybe 7-5, but I think 6-6 is what I'm going to go with. If Nebraska loses this game, I've got Nebraska going 3-9 or 4-8 this season. This is a crucial game because, it's all about momentum. And if you lose to Illinois to start off the season, that's not going to be a very encouraging thing at all for this team. So, but yeah, for Illinois, this is a team that went 2-6 last season, so not quite as good as Nebraska, even though Illinois did beat Nebraska last season. Brett Bielema, first season with the Illini, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. I mean, Brett Bielema does know how to beat Nebraska. Obviously, he was with Wisconsin at one point. This team does have a few questionable areas, but they do have experienced quarterback Brandon Peters. Brandon Peters, of course, has been a decent quarterback over the career that he's had with Illinois, but he does have a lot of experience. That's going to be the main positive for him, as he's been in the Big Ten for quite a while, so he does know how to play a lot of these teams. So yeah, that being said, of course, Nebraska, Illinois, both these teams were pretty lackluster last season. But if you look at, once again, Nebraska here, this is a Nebraska team that's got by far, I mean, if you're an Illinois fan, you can almost agree, Nebraska's had better recruiting. They've got more talent on their team. They should win this game. But, of course, you never know. It's Nebraska football. But looking at your prediction here for this Nebraska-Illinois matchup, once again, huge game here. I've got a 27-17. Nebraska is going to get the win. Once again, it's going to be a close matchup. I do think we see a pretty low first half here between Nebraska and Illinois. It's going to be 10-3 at the half. But I do think Nebraska pulls away a bit in the second half. Gets a good touchdown to start off the half, and this Nebraska team will win it by 10. So I do expect it to be pretty close. I don't think it's going to be a massive blowout by any means. I think Illinois will stick around quite a bit here. But Nebraska does get the win. 27-17 is going to be the final score. I just think, I mean, Illinois next season, this is an Illinois team that's got an experienced quarterback, but otherwise this team is kind of in a messy situation. I mean, of course, you got a brand new head coach, and I mean, that could give Illinois potentially a great season, but I don't expect Brett Bielema to turn around Illinois in one season. So anyway, yeah, 27-17 is my record prediction, or my prediction, score prediction for this matchup. Probability is Nebraska 65% as well. So I'm somewhat confident that Nebraska wins, but once again, this Nebraska team has been pretty hard to predict over the past couple of years. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup. I appreciate you guys all watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you guys later.